Hey YouTube, this is Jono. Today I'm going to be talking about why I'm buying a Tesla Model Y. As far as the model of the Tesla that I'm going to be getting, it's the Model Y. It's an exterior, white exterior, so it's just the stock. And then in the interior, I'm getting a white interior, so those white leather seats. The white interior actually doesn't stain that easily, and it just looks so much cleaner. The rims are going to be stock, and then it's going to be a 7-seater. Now, I talked to a couple of people I was in Oklahoma for a little bit, and I talked to one of the guys at the Oklahoma showroom for Teslas, and he was telling me strategy that I could use because the car market is just so crazy right now. So at the end of the video, I'll reveal what that is. But my expected delivery date is November 3rd to the 23rd, which means that in about a month or so, I'm going to be getting that Tesla coming into Salt Lake City, which I'm super excited. So initially, why am I buying a Tesla? The reason why I'm getting a Tesla is not because I'm paying for it. And that's the key part. I could afford it if I really wanted to, but it wouldn't be the most intelligent decision, mainly because I have income coming in and I don't want that income going towards things that will depreciate. Almost everyone knows that cars are depreciating assets. But the average American carries on average $4,000 of credit card debt. And a lot of these people are buying cars that they really can't afford. So they're financing a car and then going and buying all the rest of their stuff on credit cards and paying super high interest. Most Americans are consumers before investors. And that's the difference that I'm taking in this approach to getting a Tesla. I'm taking it from the investor side rather than the consumer side. To do that, to explain what the difference is, you need to know what the difference is between a liability and an asset. I listened to a lot of Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, very important book that I recommend to everybody who's listening. A liability is simply something that takes money out of your pocket. So if it's leaving out of your bank account, net, you're losing money from your bank account, that is considered a liability. So things like clothing, things that like food, housing, cars, anything that you have to pay for, insurance, all of those things are liabilities. Until they put money into your bank account, they're then at that point considered assets. So a house is considered a liability. But wait, if you produce income and you rent it out and it produces more than what it costs, then at that point the income exceeds the cost, which means that now you have positive cash flow. That is considered an asset. So what I'm doing is I'm turning my car from a liability into an asset. So why am I focused on buying assets? I am hyper and focused on buying assets so that it can provide financial freedom through cash flow. The more that I can invest right now in my 20s towards cash flow, dividends, things that put money into my bank account, then the faster I'm going to get to the point where those passive incomes are coming into my bank account and completely offset all of the expenses that I have, so that I can live and work for free if I need to. I can go and learn something that I didn't have the time to, or I couldn't afford to do before. That's the type of freedom that I want for me and my family. Now, other assets that I'm investing in, cryptocurrencies. I'm probably going to be making some other videos on that. An insurance investment that I'm in right now, stocks, Roth IRA. I did subletting for a really long time. That worked out pretty well, which is where you rent out a space from a landlord and then you rent out the rooms, or you Airbnb, so short-term rentals. And credit cards. So remember at the beginning of the video, I said that credit cards are a liability. A lot of people are putting debt and paying interest, high interest debt on their credit cards. Well, the way I use them, they are an asset because they put money into my pocket. So the way I see it is that I'm already going to be spending money on the things that I need to survive. But if I can get some of that money back, to me, I consider credit cards an asset because I'm utilizing them in a way that is way more beneficial than the average American uses. And I never pay interest, which is the best part. How is a Tesla Model Y an asset? That's the really big question. right? So to define asset, remember it is something that puts money into your pocket. So how can a Tesla put money into your pocket? Well, right now with the market being so crazy, there's a shortage of rental cars. So Avis, Rent-A-Car, all these big companies had to sell a lot of their inventory because of COVID, and they weren't manufacturing so many things in different countries. So because there's a small inventory of cars, a lot of people that are wanting to start renting cars now have to pay a higher price because the supply is low and the demand is high. And so in order to meet the difference, the price has to go up. And that's why the rental market has been so expensive recently. Well, what I'm going to plan on doing is when I get my Tesla, I'm going to rent it out to strangers, and they're going to pay for my bill. And it's used, I use a platform called Turo to be able to rent out to people that I otherwise wouldn't know before. So it's like Airbnb, but for cars. So I go onto this platform, I log in, I take pictures, I put up my listing of my Tesla, and then somebody else comes into Utah, says, hey, I need a car, or hey, I want to drive a Tesla for a full day to see how it is, see if I like it. Then they come out, I get a message, and then I rent them my car, and then they pay me a certain amount. And I'm going to make another video going over specific numbers on what I think I can get based on what other people in the same area have been making from Turo as well. So I'm going to go over the video, another video running the numbers, but an important thing is that the most important thing that makes it an asset at this point is that my income from renting it out to other people is going to exceed my monthly cost. So my payment, my principal, interest, taxes on the vehicle, and insurance. All of those things, all the costs, buying electricity to recharge the Tesla, are all costs. And as long as I can get more income than those costs, then it's an asset. If it's lower than the actual costs and expenses for my vehicle every single month, then it's considered a liability, and at that point I might look into getting an exit strategy. Now, I told you that there was a strategy at the very end. So the strategy that this guy at Oklahoma told me to do was, he said, the Model Y that has a 7-seater, long range, and white interior is so rare right now, and the time that it takes to get your Tesla delivered is so long, and the chip shortage, the microchip shortage for cars right now is so low that it's inflating the price of the cars. So for the first time in pretty much history, from what I know, there has never been a time where cars didn't depreciate, meaning that whenever you bought a car, it typically always went down in value. Well, right now, a Tesla is one of the lowest depreciating cars on the market because they have so much value and can learn and update their software. But because there's such a shortage of cars, and there's a shortage of Teslas, and it takes so long for you to get a Tesla, a lot of people are willing to pay a premium just to get it now. So what I'm planning on doing is, once I get my Tesla, I'm going to put up a listing, go to a couple different dealers, go on Facebook Marketplace, go on different websites to see if I can get a buyer to purchase it for more than what I paid for it, so that I can flip it right away and then get another one and wait for the delivery. So that's my strategy right now for my Tesla. I'm super excited to get a Tesla. Like, Tesla's just an awesome car, and I'm kind of planning for the future. So I am married, and in the future I plan on having kids. So I want to have enough room and have my dream car to start it right now, so that by the time I have, the need for, tons of kids and everything, then I have those 7 seats. I have a nice Tesla. It's a reliable car. I think there's like a warranty for 500,000 miles. So great car, great investment. And right now I'm trying to take advantage of this special time where cars are actually appreciating more than they're depreciating. But that's my strategy for going with the Tesla. That's why I'm buying a Tesla. If it weren't for Turo, if it weren't for these other platforms, there's no way in heck that right now in my life I would want to afford a Tesla, just because they're expensive cars. So I'll make another video going over the numbers of what I bought it for, the interest rate and all that stuff. But thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.